Different's great, but being different for the sake of being different, I'm not a big fan of, right? If you just want to be different for the sake
technology
of it.
Technology, I would hide behind it.
And you start to hear some of their challenges, and yes.
Because it speaks to the core of who you are and what drives you forward. Because what makes you different is what drives you. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Master Connector Show. I'm your co-host, Rob Genovese, and we hope you are joining us every single week, 1 p.m. on Wednesday Eastern Time, because we're bringing you amazing guests. People are going to help you level up. They're going to utilize their experience, their skill set, their stories to inspire you how you can level up, further your opportunity, and overcome. Listen, we're all on a journey. Everybody's got their own unique journey, but through the stories and the interactions with our guests, we hope that you're going to be able to hit the goals you want to hit and have those accomplishments under your belt. Steve and I, my co-host Steve Spiro, we go back about 26, 27 years, two former shy guys, two introverts who really couldn't talk to people. Steve's a martial arts expert. He'd punch you sooner than talk to you. And me, I was just deathly afraid, and I could not actually speak to people. I had paralysis whenever that came about. No joke. But listen, fast forward, we're both connectors. We're making things happen in our own way. And listen, we want you to be joining us every single week. If you want to check out some of the upcoming episodes, go to masterconnector.show. See the amazing guests we have up next in the future months. We're going way into 2025. Each episode is going to be a unique topic and a unique guest. And speak of episodes, today's episode, we want to thank our pal Russ Hedge. Russ Hedge is sponsoring this episode. Listen, for over 30 years, with sales and marketing success in multiple industries, Russ Hedge can help you be successful in your business by helping you truly connect, transform your business, connect to new customers. Contact our buddy at russhedge.com. And listen, no further ado, we want to get this thing underway. Look, Steve is highly accomplished as a martial arts expert. He's got a few different black belts and a couple of different disciplines. I can't keep track. All I know is he can kick your butt sooner than you can get the first syllable of hi out of your mouth. He's also coming from an advertising background, creative guy. He's an author. He's my friend for over 26 years. Please help me welcome Mr. Steve Spiro. What's up, Steve?
What's up, Robbie G? All right, I like it. Yeah, punch you rather than talk to you. I appreciate that. But that is actually very true. And it's true. Although I am a lover these days, a lover, not a fighter. But back in the day, yeah, I mean, I just rather not talk to you. So, but anyway, what's going on, friends? Steve Spiro, the Master Connector, coming at you live and direct. I appreciate everyone being on here. And Adil, Armand, pleasure having you on here. Yeah, you're on the masterconnector.show. Appreciate you. Hey, listen, if you're watching us live, especially on LinkedIn, because we do obviously stream onto YouTube, and we also have this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But if you are live with us right now, get in the comments, connect. This is the Master Connector Show. So we want you to tell us what city, the state, the country, and we also want you to connect with each other. So just put your contact information and go connect with each other. It's a great opportunity to really build connections and build community, right? And here's the challenge, right? I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn Live is great. LinkedIn audios are cool too. The good news about LinkedIn audio, it shows who's on. With LinkedIn Live, it really doesn't. So unless you get in the comments, we don't know you're here. But anyway, we're going to have an incredible show. So, hey, listen, I want to tell you this, right? Writing a book is one of the most powerful ways to establish yourself as a thought leader and make your message unforgettable. You know, I love speaking about this on stage because a book acts as your ultimate calling card, setting you apart in a crowded marketplace, right? Your book is not just a product. It's a key that opens the doors to new opportunities, including more speaking engagements in my case, right? And collaborations, right? A well-crafted book makes your message tangible, giving audiences a piece of your story and wisdom that they could take with them. I'm a huge book listener these days on Audible, but I just love it. And it's a great way to get the mind of the millionaires and the people that are successful. When aligned with your personal brand, your book creates a hook that amplifies your credibility and expands your platform exponentially. The act of writing a book also deepens your understanding of your subject and helping you refine your expertise and deliver even greater value. You're 9 times out of 10 speakers with books get the gigs because event organizers see them as, established and, trustworthy and professional, right? Your book doesn't just tell your story. It demonstrates your ability to solve problems and deliver meaningful results for your audience. Whether you're a writer or just an avid reader, you can use a book as a hook to elevate your message and connect with others on a deeper level. And what I mean by that is this is not just about, you writing a book. I've used books, right? I mean, my friend Cameron Toth, who was the former, co-host here. We created an engaged relationship because I told him about a book, which was the E-Myth Revisited book. And he has been telling that story for years. So I used the book as a hook, even though I didn't write the book, but you could use it that way too. So don't tune out if you're watching this. Oh, I don't plan on writing a book. I don't have a book. No, this is relevant for you too as well. So remember, your book is more than words on page. It's a bridge connecting your passion, purpose, and platform to the people you're meant to serve, right? And to me, it's all about service and serving and others. So if you're ready for my main man, my co-host, my great friend, Rob G, to introduce our amazing speaker, type in "Let's go" and let's go.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Listen, our guest, Jennifer S. Wilkoff's passion for communication has led her to being a #1 international best-selling, award-winning author, keynote TEDx speaker, spokesperson, producer, and award-winning freelance writer. She's a respected book business and entertainment development consultant in her 22-year-old business, Your Book is Your Hook, as well as being a serial entrepreneur. Jennifer is known as the literary agent matchmaker, the Dear Abby of publishing, the encyclopedia of publishing, and a book business and entertainment creative consultant for more than 20 years. She was selected as the top motivational speaker, business consultant, and best-selling author of the year for 2024 by the International Association of Top Professionals. Please welcome to the show, Jennifer S. Wilkoff. What's up, Jennifer?
Hey, it's so nice to be with you both today. Thanks for having me.
She's also the Ayatollah of rock and roller. Anyway, just messing here. Anybody who's a little older may remember that. There was a song with a lyric in there. But anyway, it's great to have you on here, Jennifer. This has been a long time coming, and I have so much respect and admiration for what you do, and just want to welcome our incredible, person that's on our show a lot. The words are not coming to me, but community member Yolanda here. She's from Texas. She says, "Let's go." We've got Kristen. Kristen, she's awesome. I appreciate you being on with us, Kristen. And Adil is on as well with us. So I know there's a bunch more. Just get in the comments. We want to know you're here. Let's go. But let's get into it. So I want to talk about platforms. So community, type in #platform. How does a speaker's platform play a critical role in making their book a successful hook, if you would?
Well, a lot of people don't understand the word platform, first of all. It's not the dais that you stand on. It's more the platform that you build your brand and your business on. And when you have a book, that is something that you want to start treating like a business. Because if you don't put that platform in place, a platform is really about being everywhere your readers are going to be. Not expecting them to come to you. You have to be savvy about where you're going to build your platform and how you're going to build it. And most importantly, how are you going to consistently participate in it? And so I always talk to people about 3 different things to think about, right? What are you doing online? What are you doing offline? And what are you doing in person? Because if you don't hit all 3 marks, your platform is probably not going to be as robust as it could be.
Love that. Yeah. And, and Rob, I don't know if you have something you want to ask, please feel free to, but I just want to say this real quick. It's interesting, right? I hear it a lot, and you just touched on it about the consistency. And I talk about, networking, and I know you're a big networker. I know you have a networking group you're part of, Jennifer, as well. And having that ongoing message across the different platforms, right? And my 3-legged stool of networking, I speak about, of course, social media, right? Mm-hmm. LinkedIn is a big one for me. Traditional networking meetings, right, is another one. and jumping on a Zoom call. So sort of the electronic, if you will. And then you got the in-person, which is what I call the world is your networking event, right? Meeting people. And as long as you have a consistent message, very, very key and crucial to what you're about and who you're and people's understanding of who you're and what you're about. So yeah. Fantastic. So let's dive into it. This is about the book is your hook. So we want to talk about book. So hashtag book community, and let's get into it. So what do you mean when you say the book chooses the writer, not the other way around? That's a great point. I'd love to hear about that now.
I was just talking to Rob about this before we got on because I always say to people who come to me, gee, I had this really wake up in the middle of the night moment where I knew I needed to do whatever. And I'm like, yes, that's about what it's like. What it feels like is that when you go to the bookshelf and you see what's on the bookshelf, or you go look for the book that you want and it's not there, chances are that's a sign that you're the person who's supposed to be writing that book, because you know what you're looking for. And if you can't find it, then chances are you're that person, right? And I always say that there's never one book on a shelf. Just go to your local bookseller, go online to your favorite online resource, whether it's audio or it's ebook or whatever it is. And you will see that in a category, there's never a single book on that shelf. And the reason for that is that readers resonate. They resonate with who the author is. They resonate with the way the information is presented to them, or they resonate with the voice that it is being shared with. And if you can't figure that out, don't say to me, oh, somebody else already wrote my book. Of course, they already wrote your book. We in the publishing field believe that every book has already been written. So don't say to somebody in the publishing field, oh, there's never been a book like this, because we're all going to laugh our little fannies off and basically say, uh-huh. So one of the things to keep in mind, platform shows people how you're different. It shares your message with people. It gives people a way to connect with you, right? And when you go and you take your book and you say to a publisher, a literary agent, or even if you self-publish and it says it to your audience, who you are, they want to know who knows you. What are you doing? How are you actually participating in your product, your book, your message, your story? This is important for fiction, nonfiction, and children's. I've raised them all over the years, and they are award winners. They are bestsellers. Whether you are or not, it doesn't matter. The truth is, if you want to connect with your audience, you've got to understand first and foremost, why did you write that book? And for a lot of people, they tell me, I had to write the book. And when you actually have that compelling passion for what it is you're putting together, listen, if you don't know how to put it together, that's why people like me are out there. There are consultants, there are people who actually care about what you want to put together, and we get it. We know you don't know how to present it. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here to help you, right? At the same time, it's you, right? Remember the writer's strike? I always told people, they were like, what are we going to do? They're not taking our screenplays. They're not doing. I said, write. This is the time to be writing, because the other people can't do their job without the writers. So if you get called to write a book, just remember, all those publishing people that you want to help you, they can't do their job if you don't have your idea, you don't have your message, you don't have your story, and you don't have your book.
That last part you just said there, Jennifer, was a thing for me. And Steve knows this. And now, Jennifer, I know you know this because we were speaking earlier, is I'm just finishing my first book. And, I spent years thinking, because I wanted to accomplish things in life. I thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if somebody regular like me could write a book, right? Because I'm not a writer per se. My background is in design and visual. And I thought that would be nice to be able to say, right, at the end of our life, like some people go, I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro and I did it. I wanted to be like, I wrote a book, right? Because to the average person, that would seem like a great accomplishment. But to think about the book, it never came to me because I kept thinking about, what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? Now, I'm a brand guy, so I would write about branding, but There's 1,000,010 books out there in branding, right, Jennifer? I'm sure you read all the time. So why would I even try and write another branding book? And I heard a woman speak from stage one day a little bit about, in your industry, talk about it and kind of walked me through a very simple thing in a half hour. When I left there, I knew what my book was about. And largely it's about my story, because that's the unique perspective that we bring to people. Because a lot of times it's regurgitating the same information, but a fresh perspective helps it connect with people. And that's, I tell you, once I started writing the book, it just flowed out of me, right? Because it, like you said, it found me.
Yep, it has to find you, because it's a prompt, right? There's always a prompt. There's a prompt for every type of book, every story, every type of approach. And part of what you have to remember is you're not writing the book for you. You're writing it for them. Who are they? Who are they? That's what I always tell people, is know your market. Because if you don't know them, then you're not talking to them, right? And the book really has to be that approach. And to your point, Rob, if you don't share it from your experience, your point of view, your opinion, then it really loses that specialness, right? That is you, that person would be buying, right? Because what most people do, if they liked the book and they liked the tone and they liked the information presented, they finish the book and they say, what else does he or she have? How can I find them? Where are they, right? Are they in my world, right? I always say that to people, because that's how the platform and the book and what you're actually being called to do come together.
I love that. It's great. Yeah, I want to just throw out something. You were talking about, Rob, about the fact that there's all sorts of stuff out there already about it. And my karate instructor, my sensei, used to say, "There's nothing new under the sun, only things we've forgotten." And listen, number one, there's nothing wrong with coming up with something that's been done, but you're doing it, to Rob's point, in a different spin, in your own perspective, in your own story. And I think that's what makes it truly, truly unique. So I love that, Rob, and Jennifer, what you were saying as well. But I know we talked about, and you were talking about message before. So I wanted to kind of go back to that a little bit. So let's, community, type in #message. So what steps should a speaker take to clarify their message so their book resonates with the audience?
So, one of the things about message is actually knowing your why. And it sounds very cliche, but if you can't figure that out, that's a problem. It should be quick, it should be crisp, and it should be deep, right? And so people ask me all the time, well, why are you a consultant? You're a #1 best-selling, award-winning author. Why do you have time for that? Right? And I always tell people, because it's why I do it. I do it to move humankind forward. That is my why. And I believe wholeheartedly that we move humankind forward by telling and sharing our stories. And we've done that. There are lots of dead people who have done that. There are people who have shared the way they do business. They've shared the stories they've told their children in books that are illustrated for years and years and years. And if we continue to do that, then I want to be that person who wants to help those people that want to do it, right? And it shows up in all different categories, all different industries, all different parts of the world, the way that we communicate, even in different languages. That's also something. When you have a message and it's in a different language, how does it translate, right? But if you don't start with why you're doing something, and you just go for, I want to go for the sale, or I want to go for the trend, or I want to go for, don't do that. If you're in one of those big boxes, right? If you have a job that basically is in a big box, I call it, where you're somebody who's an accountant. Well, there are a bazillion of them. AICPA, go there, you can find a million of them, right? So I'm a certified financial planner. Great, go find a million of them, right? I'm somebody who does title for real estate, right? For houses. Oh, there are a million of them. I don't care about that. What I don't care about is what you do. I really want to know why you do it. And if your message is not based on that, then we have a problem, because everything you build after that is what's going to count. Your message, your platform and your book. And it's going to resonate with people. And the people that it resonates with are the people you want to focus on. And it's got to be in their language, the way they would say it. And if you're going to use something that becomes your term, or what I like to call your jargon, stay away from jargon unless you're going to educate people on what it is, and it should be simple. Otherwise, right now, the reading level in the United States is somewhere between 6th and 8th grade. And it's really a problem. They actually had the New York Times used to be written at a 10th grade level, and they actually had to reduce it because they didn't want to lose their subscribers. And so you need to think. I have people who are like, oh, I'm using these big vocabulary words. I'm like, take them out. Right. Forget the SAT words, man. Nobody knows what they mean. And they look at me and they're like, yeah, but I'll sound less intelligent. And I'm like, actually, you'll reach more people. Yeah. And if you simplify your message, right, that's what you want to be able to do. Know why you're doing what you're doing.
I want to hit on that, Jennifer, for a quick second, because I think sometimes the audience, we're largely business people on LinkedIn, right? And a lot of us are running our own business. And so we talk a lot about that why, like, why are you doing what you're doing? And I meet tons of solopreneurs who are like, they just want to get to the profit. How do I get a client? Just refer me, just do all these things. And they put aside why are you doing this? To make money. And while yes, that's what a business is for. I mean, a business in an entity is for profit, right? Generally speaking. What I have found is when I went that route, I failed. When I really got down to why I was doing what I was doing, and that's to make a positive impact in people's personal lives through business. That's my purpose. It drove me to everything. It drove me to the easy things. It drove me to my message. It drove me to the vision for my company. It drove me to my core values. It drove me to my ideal. Like, all these things were easier to identify. And when you say, know your message, half the audience is like, they're dead in the water, right? Because they have no clue how to come up with that. But when you know why you're doing what you're doing, the message is clear. Yeah.
100%. It's know your market, know your message, and then start building. Because if you don't figure that out, you're basically shooting from the hip. You're trying to follow either the trends, or you're trying to figure out, how can I get ahead of the guy next to me or the girl that's sitting across from me? And you know what? They don't matter. What really matters is, why are you doing it? And the more you come from that place of passion, I promise you that the universe will pay you back in major dividends, just because you followed your heart. And people know the difference when people are actually seriously saying, how can I best support you? Or, come on, let's get to the sale already. And there's a huge difference.
For sure. Yeah, I just got to say this. The why is so important. Obviously, we know, a lot of us know about Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And he talks about the why being more associated with the limbic portion of our brain, that emotional part of our brain, which emotion moves people, logic does not, right? So the more you can get to that why, the better. I could say this, that right before COVID hit, I put together a personal mission, life's mission statement, which had my why built in, which is really to impact people and to really make a difference, and to be that light for people, and to really hopefully inspire people. And that moved and drove me. And since I've done that, I mean, not bragging, but we've had the best financial years of our entire life the last 3-4 years. And I believe it's because I found what my true why was. And yes, not in every piece of what I do is my why prevalent, but it's there, right? And it's all there. So I think knowing your why and how that relates to your strategy is so crucial. We're kind of coming to the end, and I want to kind of go on this one last piece of, I just touched on it, right? Impact. To me, why are we here on this planet, right? You're talking about success. Success to me is not about how many things or how much money, but it's how many people are better off because we were here on this planet. So I love your take on it. And so hashtag impact community. And so, Jennifer, how can a well-crafted book amplify a speaker or just a person's impact and solidify them as a subject matter expert?
Okay, so I'm going to address this from two different points of view. The first one is, I hear people who say, if I'm not published by Random House, Simon & Schuster, or Penguin or one of the large publishing houses, I haven't actually succeeded. Oh, that's a bunch of BS. Let me bust that myth for you guys right now. That's not true. Okay. You don't have to do that. Okay. What is the most important thing is that you actually write something that's really freaking good, right? Write a good book, get it edited, enroll a professional to help you with it so that you actually present the highest and best book you can. Then, if you decide that you want to get a literary agent with it, or you want to go and get a publisher for it with or without an agent, even if you want to self-publish or electronically publish or audio publish. I know people who are audio publishing first right now. Okay. All of those make you an author. None of them make you a sub-author. And if you're not ready to write your own book, write a chapter in a collaborative book. If you're in an organization, an association, go do that. Write your 3,000 words, write your 1,000-word chapter. Get your feet wet. Get yourself used to it. Why? Because the more you actually get your message in writing and your stuff, as I like to call it, whatever it is, your story, right? That's going to continue to elevate you as either a subject matter expert or somebody who knows how to spook people or somebody who knows how to say, hey, you got this problem? I got the answer, baby. Let me tell you some case studies, right? If you don't put that out there, basically, it's harder for people to see you as an authority figure. And unfortunately or fortunately, people do have this conception and perception of people who have written and published a book that they are somehow more qualified as a speaker than others, even when they suck at it. And so I'm telling you, you got to basically have both. I was talking to Steve earlier on about this concept and this statistic that I mentioned, which is really important. 9 times out of 10, the person with the book will get the gig because they just took the time to put the information in a book and give the gift of that information. And suddenly they somehow are a better presenter. They know more. They set themselves apart from all the accountants, financial planners, real estate agents, blah, 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 right? Why? Because they have something on the shelf. It could be electronic. It could be an audio thing. Listen, today, you guys are doing this podcast. Thank you very much for having me. And that's something that I just did a whole panel for Women in Film San Francisco Bay Area last night on adaptations and the business of adaptations. And one of the things we were talking about are podcasts that become books and books that become podcasts and limited series and all kinds of stuff. If you want to be a subject matter expert, you've got to basically figure out not only how can you impact your audience, how can you reach them, right? Because the more you reach them, the more you touch them, the more you love them, the more you're going to impact them.
Absolutely. That's great. And we can listen, this is incredible. Love this. We can go on for another half hour, 30 minutes to, even 2 hours on this. This is great. But we do want to respect everyone's time and just appreciate your big time. I know Rob wants to highlight something that you have as value. We're talking about impact, something to truly impact our community here, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, on the Master Connector Show audience, we always want to bring you value in the form of great speakers like Jennifer to impart their wisdom, their years of trial and error and successes to make your journey go faster. But listen, we always want to heap on a little bit extra value. So I want to pass it over to Jennifer. She has an offer for you all. Jennifer, you want to tell them about it?
Yes. If you have a question about your particular book and you want to know what should I be doing, right? I offer a 20-minute consultation that you can access for free. And it gives you an opportunity to talk with an industry professional. I am the only person in my industry who offers office hours for purchase, but that particular 20-minute first consultation is free. And I'd be happy to learn more about your project, what you want to do. I work with CEOs, I work with executives, and I work with people who are completely unknown, who now are rock stars and just kicking it out of the park in their industry. So you can go to Your Book Is Your Hook at Gmail. You can go to yourbookisyourhook.com and go to the consultation. Just go to Hire Jennifer, and at the bottom, click on the client application to get a consultation. And I'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. That's great. Beautiful. Well, and what is the best way for our community to reach you as we wind the show down here, please?
Well, let's rock and roll on my platform, shall we? My platform is on LinkedIn. You can just look up my name, Jennifer Wilkov. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find my page there. You can also find my business there. Your Book Is Your Hook. You can find that on LinkedIn too. You can find me on Instagram at Your Book Is Your Hook, on YouTube at Your Book Is Your Hook. Shall I go on? Listen,
he's everywhere.
Let me tell you something. I eat my own 5-star dinner by the Michelin chefs. So I want you to do the same thing. I don't want you to eat your own dog food. That's just for the dogs, baby. You got to elevate. You've got to get your platform out there. And I look forward to hearing from you. And happy to help.
You were great. We're going to have you in the green room, but we just appreciate you big time. Robbie G, I'll pass it to you, sir.
Yeah. Awesome. So great show. And listen, speaking of books, I want to tell you, our own Steve Spiro is an author. So you're going to want to pick up his book, The Tao of a Master Connector, The Way an Introvert Became a Master Connector. Think about that for a second. All you introverts out there, like me and Steve, you can become a master connector. Pick up Steve's book. He's got some great nuggets in there of his journey, his story, and the things he's learned along the way. I will put the information in the chat so you can pick up that book. Back to you, Steve.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. I really do. And listen, we're excited because next week we have another incredible guest. Actually, 2 weeks from now, I think we're skipping a week because it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is going to be celebrating. On Wednesday, 12/24, we're actually going to be speaking with Josh Wilson and the cost of being real. So it's going to be an incredible show. Don't miss it. And if you want to learn more about some of the episodes, thanks to Rob G. He's updated our website. We've got it all the way well into 2025. All sorts of shows coming up. If you're interested in being a guest, go there. If you're interested in being a sponsor of one of the episodes, go to masterconnector.show as well. So, but I want to just close with a quick story here. And listen, and we all know, right? Harry Potter, right? J.K. Rowling's was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was finally accepted by Bloomsbury, thanks to the publisher's 8-year-old daughter who fell in love with the manuscript. The book, initially printed in 500 copies, became the foundation of one of the most successful literary franchises in history, transforming Rowling from an unemployed single mother into a global icon, right? Her story proves that a book can be a powerful hook, opening doors to unimaginable opportunities while inspiring others to persevere through challenges and share their unique gifts with the world. Listen, you have a story to tell. You matter. You're awesome. It's our job now to go out, share our message, share our light, and be that light for other people. And we'll see you next week. Love you guys. Appreciate you.
And you start to hear some of their challenges, and yes,
because it speaks to the core of who you are and what drives you forward. Because what makes you different is what drives